大家午安。那今天我要讲的主题，我讲4个主题好了。那第一个是，好，那我第一个先讲我频道更名的原因，然后再来第二个我讲就是介绍乌克兰，第三个我介绍林肯总统的 Gettysburg Address。然后第4个，我讲一下最近念书的心得好了。那么等一下哦。好，那就开始吧。那首先我先讲我为什么要更名叫庆生虾兵蟹将。就是有一次妈妈和我们全家去爬山的时候，妈妈就说取叫什么庆神大帝，就是感觉好像是什么内在涵养不足的人才会取的，就是感觉类似说靠家里没什么钱，可是又喜欢买很多名牌包包来，类似说做表象这样，所以说就说你要谦虚一点。然后我就说哦好，那我就改名叫用一个乌合之众的名字，那我就改叫虾兵蟹将好了。而且你看神和虾兵蟹将又是一个那个叫什么映衬，国文叫映衬吧，对不对？好，那接下来就进入正题，来介绍乌克兰。那这一篇是我在成功岭的时候跟同学借英语杂志，然后把它抄下来。我把它抄在那时候，我就把它抄在这个小册子上，大家有看到吗？对，我把它抄在这上面。对，我还抄了很多。对，没办法，成功太美好。那废话不多说，就开始吧。Okay. Ukraine is located in Eastern Europe, and it is bordered by the Black Sea and the Sea of Azov to the south, as well as 7 countries. Ukraine comes from the word Ukraina, which literally means borderland. Ukraine's colorful history, including numerous bloody revolutions, regular foreign invasions, 2 world wars, the catastrophic Chernobyl nuclear power plant disaster, and a revolving door of rulers, is beyond the scope of this article. However, you may recall a relatively recent news event that involving Ukraine and Russia, its largest neighbor. Briefly, in 2014, Russia occupies a province of the Ukraine called Crimea. This followed a referendum that declared Crimea an independent state. At the same time, civil unrest throughout Ukraine sparked revolution, civil war, and a political coup that saw the country's government overthrown. Russia still occupies Crimea, and full-scale war remains a possibility between these 2 former Soviet Union members. The situation is dire because both countries have supplies of Cold War-era nuclear weapons. Nevertheless, life in Ukraine goes on despite the power plays between the political leaders. Kiev is Ukraine's capital, as well as the center of Ukrainian culture. It is also the country's largest city and one of Europe's oldest. The city of around 3 million is full of museums, theaters, sacred religious sites, and ancient ruins. Ancient ruins. All of all set amid a contrasting mix of traditional and ultra-modern architecture. Such infrastructure, such as an advanced public transport system, has contributed to making Kiev the industrial, scientific, educational, and cultural center of Eastern Europe. Kiev's melting pot of history and culture, along with the friendly and lively nature of the people, makes it an irresistible destination for adventurous travelers. Arguably, the best place to start a tour of Ukraine is Independence Square, situated in central Kiev. This granite-covered square features numerous statues and fountains, as well as the obligatory shops, hotels, and cafes. It also offers panoramic views of all Kiev, including the domes of Saint Sophia's Cathedral, which has miraculously survived since the 11th century, and the Caves Monastery, which was founded in 1015. Visitors to the square, after taking in the aroma of mulled wine and freshly baked gingerbread, will find it impossible to resist indulging in these delicious traditional refreshments. Not far from Independence Square is another of Kiev's must-see destination, Hreshchatyk. This wide tree-lined boulevard is Kiev's main shopping district. The bustling street features many high-end fashion stores and restaurants, making it one of the world's most expensive places to shop. Around 700 kilometers south of Kiev is around 700 kilometers south of Kiev, set among the picturesque hills and lakes, is Ukraine's fifth-largest city, Donetsk. The city is home to the country's steel and coal industry, as well as several universities. However, what set Donetsk apart from other industrial cities is its 140 museums that house artifacts and archaeological finds dating back to prehistoric times. Unfortunately, some of the museums were damaged during the 2014 uprising, but thankfully, the contents were not damaged. Nothing illustrates the contrast found in Ukraine better than the Tunnel of Love, a unique emerald green passageway that has grown around around a factory's private train line through a large forest. It has become a popular spot for lovers who embrace inside the 1.8-mile tunnel and make a wish. It is said that if their love is sincere, their wish will come true. Let's hope they wish for lasting peace in Ukraine. 口干舌燥。好，OK，好，反正这一篇就是在讲 乌克兰的，对，简介乌克兰哦，10分了。好，那我接下来讲 Gettysburg Address，就是林肯总统著名的演说，连他的影响力很大，连奥巴马的总统就职典礼也有参考这一篇的结构布局，还有用语。OK， fourscore and 7 years ago, our fathers brought forth on this continent a new nation, conceived in liberty, and dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal. Now we are engaged in a great civil war, testing whether that nation, or any nation so conceived and so dedicated, can long endure. We are met on a great battlefield of that war. We have come to this. We have come to dedicate a portion of that field as a final resting place for those who here gave their lives that that nation might live. It is altogether fitting and proper that we should do this. But in a larger sense, we cannot dedicate, we cannot consecrate, we cannot hallow this ground. The brave men, living and dead, who struggled here, have consecrated it far above our poor power to add or detract. The, the world will little note nor long remember what we say here, but it can never forget what they did here. It is for us, the living, rather, to be dedicated here to the unfinished work which they who fought here have thus far so nobly advanced. It is rather for us to be here dedicated to the great task remaining before us, that from this honored dead we take increased devotion to that cause for which they gave the last full measure of devotion. That we here highly resolve that this dead shall not have died in vain, that this nation, under God, shall have a new birth of freedom, and that government of the people, by the people, for the people, shall not perish from the earth. 哦，盖茨堡演说也结束了，那最后就来做个小结吧。这是我哥去台大医院实习的时候送我的一个小徽章，然后我就把它摆在我书桌这边，对吧？就当做每天念书的时候砥砺一下自己吧，把它当做我的目标，对，目标，就是我的目标。我在成功岭我们教室旁边的厕所尿尿的时候，它上面都会有贴一些名言佳句。正言法师说，设定的一个目标，然后努力的不懈去追寻，就算我有点忘记他怎么说了，但是就是说，就算你没有做到最好，还是能做出一些成果。对，那虽然有时候念书还是会就念到一些不熟的科目的时候，的确会有一些心烦意乱，然后对啊，可是就还是要坚持下去，就像银龙教官说的，要想成功，就要先学会勉强自己。OK， 好，那跟大家说一下，下一篇我要说那个有关沟通的部分。对，好，那剧透就不多说了，下次见。哇，0人观看，拜拜。